Welcome to another episode of Z Noodles. Today we have Senator Dick Durbin.
Well, it's great to have these questions from the Spectrum School, and I thank you for asking me. I'm Senator Dick Durbin. I am broadcasting my video to you from my home in Springfield, Illinois. My wife and I stay here, trying to keep out of circulation, keep away from crowds, keep ourselves healthy and safe till we get this COVID-19 situation behind us. I hope you're being safe at home too, and understand that this is going to pass soon. We'll be back in business in schools and regular businesses, and in the meantime, do your best to work carefully on your schoolwork as much as you can at home. So you sent me some good questions, and I'm going to answer them. And so the first is, what is your favorite snack? And it says the school will eat this in your honor during this reply. So my favorite snack is carrot sticks. You don't believe that, do you? It's not true. My favorite snack is almost anything chocolate. So let me suggest two things that you might consider if your teacher allows, or wherever, if you're at home, and that would be Junior Mints, which I like. You can buy those in a box. I like to put them in the freezer. A little secret, and frozen Junior Mints are a favorite. Or M&M chocolate covered peanuts. Oh yeah. Those would be my two top choices on snack food, and I shouldn't be eating either one of them. That's why I love them so much.
Could you describe a typical day in Congress?
Well, when we were in business and everything was working, I would get up real early, like 6 o'clock, and go to the Senate gym, pedal on a bicycle, read the newspaper, take a shower, put on my clothes, go to the office, and then I call my wife at home, see how things are going back here at Springfield, tell her what's going on in Washington, talk about the headlines in the newspaper, and get ready for my first radio interview, which is usually about 8 o'clock in the morning. Several radio stations between 8 and 9 do their early morning shows across the state of Illinois, talking about what's going on in Washington. Off to my first meeting, usually about 9 o'clock. It's usually a leadership meeting on the Democratic side, meet with other senators, and then come back to my office, meet with my staff, talk about what's going to happen on the floor of the Senate. 10 o'clock, the Senate comes in session. I'm down on the floor of the Senate, listening to speeches by other people, say a few words myself about things that I think are important. Go to a committee hearing where we meet with other senators and talk about legislation, for example. Come back to my office. Visitors from Illinois come out to see me. Then comes noontime, grab a little lunch. Sometimes I eat with other senators, talking about the business of the Senate. In the afternoon, it's a replay of the morning. It's committee meetings. It's office appointments. It's calling back to Illinois to find out what's going on. My day usually ends around 7 o'clock, so it's a pretty big day. So from the time I get up, 13 hours before I leave the office, and then I go home and watch a little TV. Usually this time of year I'm watching baseball games. I like to watch the Chicago Cubs, and now I'd watch almost anybody. I'm so anxious to get back to baseball. So in your job, is there one thing you really love to do? I do. I mean, this is a great state. Illinois is a big, big, big state, hundreds of miles from one end to the other. The great big city of Chicago up on the northeast corner of the state, all the way down to southern Illinois, where we have smaller towns, farms, and rural communities. And it's really, we got everything in this state, everything you can imagine. It looks like America squashed into one state. And I think what I really like to do is to listen to folks all over the state and try to connect up with them and their concerns. Right now, their concern is public health, dealing with this virus and the dangers it might present.
What was your favorite thing to watch on TV?
Well, I already gave it away. It's baseball, it's football, it's basketball, particularly college basketball, and all of that stuff is gone now. I hope it returns real soon. I watch news, as you might imagine, 60 Minutes, things like that. But boy, I miss the sports. Can't wait till we get back to it.
So, if you had a submarine, what would you put in it?
It's called What Water? This is a segment of the question. What would I put in it? Books. I like to read books. I think books really open up the world to you. So if I could stack one thing aside from food and water into my submarine, it would be books to read. I got a whole bunch of them that I'm in the middle of reading right now. I'm reading one right now called The Great Influenza by John Barry, B-A-R-R-Y. It tells the story of 100 years ago when we went through this same type of thing, a pandemic. So it really teaches you a lot. History is your opportunity to learn from the past.
Do you have some advice for Generation Z or the next generation?
Best advice for new generations, Generation Z as they call them, go to school. I'm not going to say clean your room. Your parents will tell you that. But in addition to that, don't let anything get you down. We all run across bumps in the road, obstacles, things we didn't anticipate. And you get frustrated sometimes. And you think, why'd this happen to me? Or why do I have to do this and other people don't have to do this? And why do I have special challenges in my life which somebody else doesn't have? But when you get right down to it, everybody has some of that in their lives. And the question is, what are you going to do with it? You going to let it get you down? I hope not. If you'll come back and say, I can get through this. At the other end of this, I'm going to be stronger because I went through it. It's called resiliency. The ability to bounce back when you're disappointed. The ability to bounce back when you don't do things right. When I was a politician in the early days, I lost elections. Man, that is no fun at all. But I thought, I'm going to get back and I'm going to run and try again. And I eventually did get elected. So don't let any obstacles in your path, any disappointments, any grades that disappoint you get in your way. Tomorrow is another day. Be ready to get up in the morning, smile on your face, determined to make this the best day of your life. Thank you for letting me join you.